Go Jackets.
For the land of the free. And the home of the brave.
All right. You did a pretty good job. What's going on, everyone? And welcome to WreckTalk. It's a not so fun, very early Monday morning. We get absolutely embarrassed and handled. Let me put it in coach speak. In all phases of the game, man. Yeah, all phases. Wasn't really anything that Clemson didn't just absolutely dominate us in that game. Now, I went to this game. You saw the clips earlier. Had a really good time there. Got treated very well by Clemson fans. Really cool environment, fun stadium to go to. I would recommend it if you ever get a chance or have a reason to go watch a game in Death Valley. You should definitely do it. Now, if you are going to be sitting in the upper decks, though, you're going to want to get your cardio in beforehand. You're going to want to work up to that. If you're not used to climbing a mountain face, it's going to be difficult to get to row KK. My legs almost gave out. And it makes you hold your bladder because it's like, man, there's no way I'm going to go down there and pee and be able to walk back up here without having a major heart attack. That being said, look, this is what's difficult to me about being a Tech fan at times. I can stomach getting beat. Obviously, we've done a lot of it. I've been a Tech fan my whole life. Okay? Is that clear? What I can't really stomach is getting beat in some of the ways that we get beat. Not even getting blown out. We went into halftime of that game. Not only did we not even have 100 yards of offense, we had one passing yard. One. We had more first downs than we did passing yardage. There was a time in the second half, because we didn't have many first downs either. We only had like 4, maybe 3 going into halftime, where our special teams conversion, like we converted a fourth down with a fake punt, and that accounted for 20% of our total first downs. Those are the things that I can't stomach. That's the stuff that's truly embarrassing. I get that Clemson has a top-notch defense. They were ranked 6th in the country coming into this game. They might bump up to 4 or something now. They'll definitely bump up a spot. That being said, I don't care what defense you're playing, you should be able to get to the 300-yard mark. 254, we'll look at the stats in a second, I think is what they held us to. You know, we were high about this offense going into this game, and I said, we're really going to figure out how good this offense is and how good this offensive line is going into this game. Now, I don't think the offensive line necessarily played bad. It's a really good defensive front they went against. This offense is not quite as good as I thought. All Clemson did was said, hey, we're going to take the whole run game away from you. Now, we were able to run a little bit in like the first few possessions. We're going to rein in King. on the ground, and we're going to play single coverage, man-to-man, all game, and we think our defensive backs are better. We think we can get pressure, and you're not going to be able to get the ball to the wide receivers. Now, the talk of the town right now is the 2 drops by Eric Singleton Jr., and he did have 2 bad drops that probably would have gone for points. The only time we were able to score is when Dabo, like an idiot, decides to do a fake punt from like his own 30, which he doesn't convert. So we get the ball in a very short field, basically in the red zone, and are able to score there. That was the only meaningful touchdown we scored. The other 2 were scored in garbage time when they had their 3s and 4s out. That's embarrassing. And I see a comment here. If Eric Singleton caught those 2 passes, it would have been 42-35. First of all, do you not think that emotionally, momentum, feel of the game is different when you make those plays as opposed to don't? Don't you think you're playing tighter? You're not playing very confident? I mean, think of Haynes King. The 1 passing yard was not on him. And Eric Singleton Jr. is not the only one that dropped passes. Some troll came in my halftime report, we need to bench Singleton, this, that, and the other. If he is a Tech fan, then you're doing a great job at presenting yourself as a troll. He's had 2 bad games. This was probably his worst game. I think Christian Leary led the passing game with 40 yards. And the other thing, the people saying, oh, someone commented, what game were you watching? Defense is horrible. Defense is the reason we lost the game. If you think that, I would Uno reverse you. What in the defense? When you have like 2 or 3 first downs going into half, that's not on the defense. Defense played decent in this game. They were on the field like 3 times as long as Clemson's defense was. It evened out with garbage time. Going into half, Clemson's offense had the ball for like 20 minutes, 23, 24 minutes. We had the ball for like 8 or 9 minutes. That's not on the defense. And we have to do a better job of helping them out on offense. Like we have these up and down, up and down, up and down games. Haynes King has the 4 interceptions. One of them was a pick 6. Part of that's on Haynes King, 100%, made bad decisions. Part of that's on we're not helping him out when we drop 2 touchdown passes, and now he feels like he's absolutely got to make a play to win the game. That game came down to we couldn't beat man coverage. That's what that game came down to. When they're just saying we're going to stack the box and play man on man all night, you should be able to dial up. Number one, at least 3 big explosive plays in the passing game, and you should be able to have 300 yards easy. The other thing I don't like, I didn't see us throw across the middle 10 yards in. I said that coming into the game. I said, game plan for them defensively is going to be stack the box, take the run away from us, probably play man all night. That's exactly what they did. Game plan for us is going to be beating man coverage and not focusing on throwing it 20 yards downfield every time. We need to throw slants, curl flats, drags, crossing, 15 yards in. We might have done that twice, 2 or 3 times during the game. I don't think it's a play calling thing, though. When you can't run the ball and you can't throw the ball, I mean, what do you do as a play caller, right? Like I said, defensively, I didn't think we played horrible. Let's go look at some stats. Let's go look at some stats real quick. There's no need at looking at clips of the game. Like, there's nothing really to break down. I broke it down right there. We couldn't beat man coverage. That's what that's what happened. All right, so we'll look at some stats here. Obviously, total yardage, 254 yards on offense. Not going to cut it. I don't care how good the defense is. You should be able to get to 300 yards. Clemson, 465 yards. They didn't have, some kind of crazy offensive showing, but they were effective at what they did. They were able to run. We weren't able to get much pressure on Klubnik. He was able to run on us as well. We played zone pretty much defense all night, and Klubnik was able to find the holes in it. They did go for it on fourth down a lot. We talked about the one they didn't get, but they had like 3 fourth down conversions like in back-to-back drives that contributed to our defense staying out on the field. We did get 1 pick off Klubnik, ended up not mattering. Had probably the best day of the season for him. Look, I said it wasn't on the defense, but Georgia Tech's defense does tend to make a quarterback have a career day this year, is what it is. Only 137 yards passing. Haynes King with the 4 picks, 2 interceptions, 2 touchdowns on 4 picks. Just not good. They ran for 260, which honestly isn't bad for the 129th or 132nd ranked rush defense. The big thing is the 36 minutes they held the ball. Now, as far as meaningful time, they probably held it 30 minutes and we had it 15. And that's just not an equation for success. Just not. 13 first downs to their 24, and then it was probably 20-7 as far as non-garbage time. Let's go look at the box here. Talked about Cade Klubnik. Moffa and Shipley had good days. Jamal Haynes did get 104 yards rushing. The story of this, though, is Haynes King negative rushing yards today. That was one of the 2 things I said. If I look at tackle for loss and then like Haynes King's rushing yards or our total rushing yards, I could probably tell you who won this game, and I would have been right had I not known the result. Only 117 yards. Haynes King's with negative 3 rushing yards. Our offense works when Haynes King is able to run the ball. Weren't able to do it today. Credit to Clemson's defense. They're very fast. They flow to the ball well. And we weren't able to do diddly-poo squat with it today. So congratulations to them. Like I said, Leary leads the team in receiving yards. 2 receptions for 41 yards, a long of 30 yards. Then Dante Smith, Eric Singleton Jr. Eric Singleton Jr. only having 28 yards receiving. Not an equation for success for Tech. Either defensively, we do have 7 tackles for loss. Eddie Kelly, shout out to him, had a decent day, 9 tackles total. Then we have a defensive back with the next most tackles. Look, not much use in just hashing what we already know. So we found out a few things. Our defense is what we thought it was. Offensively, we're not quite as good as we thought we were. Moving on to Syracuse. Got to win this game. It's a game you should win. We're about a touchdown favorite. It's moved from like 8.5 to 6.5 or 6. You got to find a way to win this game. It's a night game. We need to pack Bobby Dodd Stadium out. We need to show up for our team and achieve the first goal in the rebuild of this program, which is making a bowl. If we're not able to do that, then this season is disappointing. I would say we underperform this season if we're not able to make a bowl. Syracuse did beat Pitt, beat them pretty well yesterday. I think that's good news for us. But it's a team that you're more talented than, a team that you should be able to win, especially at home, especially in a night game. you got to find a way to win no matter what. Put this game aside, move on, do whatever you need to do as a team to prepare to get this ACC win. Whatever happens the week after is what it is, right? I can't imagine how it's going to go if Clemson's defense was able to handle us like that. That's fine. But at least get to a bowl, achieve your first goal in the rebuild, see what you can do in the offseason, and really build this program to what we know it can be. So you guys let me know what you think. If no one's told you today, WreckTalk loves you. Y'all have a good one.